Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. This is Burunke here, saying hello to each and every one of us. How are we doing? And hope we are all enjoying the heat of the lockdown being eased, and then we're looking forward to going out to party and all those things we have missed and all. How are you? How is the family? Happy weekend to everybody. I just decided to come online this evening because, as always, I seem to be getting a lot of phone calls these days, people asking questions. Today, I've had a series of phone calls from people who have past medical histories and are genuinely concerned about this lockdown being eased, and they just wanted reassurance and asking, sis, what do you think we should be doing? I made a video yesterday, but because I've had 3 phone calls already today about the same issue, I decided to drop one like quickly this evening to address that. To every one of us in the UK, good evening everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. I really appreciate you. Thank you for always coming online to listen to what I have to say. Yes, the lockdown has been eased, and we are now all allowed to go out to do more than we were able to do before. Pubs are now opened, weddings are allowed to start, and hospitals can do a bit more. I welcome it with a bit of caution. I really welcome it with a bit of caution. Yes, we thank God that is an improvement. However, as a person of color, like you and I, most of my viewers, you are my brothers and sisters, it's one we must be very careful. We mustn't throw caution to the wind at all. We must not at all. If you were advised to shield the last time when we had the pandemic, now that this lockdown has been eased, you've got to take extra precautions. And these include people that have past medical histories. Your GPs would have written a letter to you. I've had phone call from someone who had a sickle cell. Today I've had a gentleman, a lot of different issues around cancers and all. Whilst we're allowed to do more now, please don't just jump at it that is an opportunity for me to go and do whatever we used to do before. The hospitals are open, and unlike before, they will be busier than ever. Why? Because the pub is now open. Remember what used to happen in our A&Es, where you have a lot of people drunk and all that. They come to the A&E, they will take a lot of space. And this time around, the new roadmap means they are not going to be full shutdown of hospitals or units just to cater for COVID. It's not going to be like that. We need to be really take caution as a people. The pandemic is not over, far from it. The plan is to go for what you call local lockdown if required. And as people of color, we know we are at higher risk of all the complications as they documented before. Whether that is right or not, no one can say for sure, but the statistics are there. And the statistics are not ones that are favorable for us as black people, sadly. Especially for our men. For African men, the statistics is not favorable at all. Ladies, black pregnant ladies. In fact, they have higher admission rates than the Caucasian, as well as the black men have higher admission, higher death rates than any other ethnic minority. So we've got to be very careful this time around. We continue to do this talk so that we should not be caught unaware like we did the last time. This time around, we would not have any excuse if there were to be a second wave, which the government is actively preparing for. They expect that a second wave is going to happen. And because we are not entirely sure whether, even for those of us that have that have the antibody, we are not even sure whether it will affect us mildly or we will have the symptoms again. Nobody knows. So as a result, I'm going to say my top advice again remains precaution. If you were one that shielded when the first episode happened, yes, continue to shield if it is affordable for you. If it is not, try and minimize your outings, minimize your engagements, Just pretend as if the pandemic is still as active as possible, so that by the grace of God we won't have casualties like we did the last time. I sincerely pray to God Almighty that I do not witness what I did the last time, especially within our community. I really would not want to see that anymore. So this is now up to each and every one of us. They've thrown it back at us. We have to take responsibility for all our actions now. We have to take responsibilities for our health. Like I said yesterday, if you're a black man, if you're a black person, you have a past medical history, this is the time for you to get on the phone to your GPs, go and get stock up on your medications. If you're not sure what you need to take for your medication review, even if it is over the phone, stock up on your medication. If you're asthmatic, make sure you have your steroid supply and your inhalers at home, and minimize out and just pretend as if this pandemic is still out there. Just pretend. I know there is a lot of issue around the vitamin D and conflicting evidences. My own take is very simple. If it's not going to kill you, it's not going to cause you any harm, take it anyway. The general guideline for vitamin D for black people is, for those of us in diaspora, is to take 1,000 international units, which is 1,000 microgram every day anyway, to prevent us from muscle problems and bone issues. Now, if there is any remote link that will help prevent severity of COVID as well, because of its link to immunity boosting and reduction of lung problems, then it's worth taking, and it's quite cheap. So you will not have an excuse now as a black man not to be on vitamin D supplements. Another thing is, I went to Peckham 2 weeks ago, and I saw the way people are there. They were not masking up. It was as if everything was over. As a black man, you really do not have a choice. The capacities are not there to care for us like before. Masks are cheap. They won't cause you any harm. Just use them if you have concerns or reasons to go out. Prevention is better than cure, because already we know that if we were to have complications of this COVID, our recovery is not as good as the Caucasian. Whatever the reason for that is, I don't want to go into that. I know people are talking about propaganda and all. Propaganda is only useful if you are alive. It's as good as you are alive. It is he who is alive that can fight. If you're not there, you can't fight. You can't ask for rights. Stay alive first, stay healthy first, then you can fight for your rights. And for most of us that we know, we have issues with type 2 diabetes and obesity. Yes, there is the documented link between that type 2 diabetes and increase, obesity to COVID complications. It's all there in the papers. You can read them. They've put them all out. If you know you are obese like most of us are, it's a constant journey and battle for most people, especially for ladies with hormonal issues and stuff. Every little you do, every attempt to make at staying healthy is useful, is worth it, is never waste. Every attempt you take at staying healthy, it's worth it. Make today the day you're going to make that healthy lifestyle change. Another thing is, for pregnant ladies, I said yesterday, I'm repeating again, pregnant black women, if you work in the frontline industry, like if you work, if you are a nurse or a carer or anything like that, your risk assessment is slightly different from any other person, because they put out the information yesterday that black pregnant ladies had higher admission and complication from COVID-19 than ordinary Caucasians. So it looks like, as black people, whether we are pregnant or men or whatever, our complication is a bit more. You should be asking for your risk assessment from your managers. If they give you exemption, stay away. The amount of money you're going to make now is not going to make significant difference to your life if we were to lose our life, may God forbid. So there will be no excuse for any black person to be caught unaware in any second wave, or second wave that they are preparing for. I can confirm that as a government they are preparing for second wave. They strongly believe it's going to come, and the Chief Medical Director, Professor Whitty, has confirmed it. He said the likelihood of us having second wave is far higher than us not having it. For me, I take that as, we know it's coming. They are buying more PPE. So if, as a black person, you work in the front line, your PPE, your risk assessment is slightly different from any other person, you should ask for it. This is not a time to stay quiet. Do not stay complicit. There will be no excuse for you to work in an endangered zone. They've put a clause in it. If you trigger on the point, you should be redeployed. You should ask for. If your manager did not offer it to you, ask for it. Because from the review that was done, they've realized that there is systemic racism in the NHS, whether for employee of BAME origin or whether even for patient, even though we can't prove it, but we know it's happening. So as a result, this is not a time to stay mute or pretend that no. Ask questions. Approach your manager in a dignified, non-confrontational. You don't have to be confrontational about it. If you talk to them, they don't listen, put an email through. It makes it formal. Say, you know what, I need to have my risk assessment because I have past medical history. It's got to be done. And if they exempt you because of that, please stay at home and manage whatever little they've given to you until this whole thing is over, until at least we have vaccines that can address it. And then we will know that, yes, this is where we are now. Another thing is, for men, you are at higher risk. Black men especially. If you have big tummy, they put that in the report. If you have type 2 diabetes for men, they put that in the report. Go and get checked, go get your medication from your GP and put yourself on healthy lifestyle plan. There is no excuse not to do that now. We want everybody to stay alive because we need our men around to be good mentors for our children. So, enough is said on this already. We know what is coming. There is not going to be a total lockdown or total shutdown of the economy. They've ruled that out. What they are planning to do is what you call the rate in each area. We all know, Leicester is on lockdown already. Bradford is on the horizon. Some part of London is they're looking at that. Some parts of Kent, areas like Ashford. So keep your eyes out. Look for the information. Do not, especially if you're a person of color, don't let us be caught unaware. Very, very important for me, and I keep coming out to talk about this. And I've had people ask me questions about my product as well. What do you use that for? How does that work in this time? The reason I continue to emphasize on my Juice Plus fruits and vegetable supplement is another opportunity for me to build my immunity. Because they are fruit, vegetables, and berries, I know each time I take the 3 combination or the 4, I am getting 30 varieties of fruit and vegetable into my system. That is what we should be spending money on at times like this. We cannot... there's a question there. Just did my recommend. Yeah, fantastic. Well done, man. I know the risk assessment is compulsory now. We all have to do it. They've given every NHS organization in this country 4 weeks to respond. This is week 2. Because what we realized earlier was that most of them did not do it. We even had a trust that only did 12%. In fact, there was a trust that they asked a question that how many black people of BAME origin work in your trust, and they could not answer. They didn't even know the figure. That was shocking. They're going to protect you. Meanwhile, there were some other areas that were going as far as giving vitamin D supplements to their staff. It varies depending on where you find yourself. Just like your employer has responsibility to protecting you at work, you have a personal responsibility for maintaining good health for you. It is your life first at the end of the day. Your first responsibility lies to you before it goes to the next person. Like I was saying, loads and loads of fruits and vegetable supplements, loads and loads of fruit and vegetable healthy lifestyle. We cannot overemphasize it at a time like this. We mustn't stay complicit at all. We have to, whatever we need to do to prevent us from being caught up this time around is what we have to do. They are not going to shut down any hospital for COVID anymore. They are only going to cohort it. That is the plan. So which means if there is too many influx of admission and you have, for instance, cancer patients and whatever, they are not going to shut down all those areas like they did the last time. They've said it already. They are only going to manage people in cohorts. And we know when it comes to choices, may God forbid, wherever you find yourself, if they have a choice between giving a bed to Boris Johnson and they have a choice between giving me a high to you bed with the Lord forbid, you know who is going to get it. So my own take on all of this is to ensure that I will never need their bed by the grace of God. That God Almighty will keep me alive and well and safe with my friends and families and everybody. And I will do my part of that by promoting a healthy lifestyle, eating as healthy as I possibly could, and using my money as my insurance spending money on my fruits and vegetable capsules that I consider to be my health insurance, because what they do for me is to ensure I am loading up on phytonutrients, the antioxidants that I need on daily basis as I go out to face this battle of COVID-19. The sad part of this now, currently for us, is the fact that we cannot even be sure of who has this, problem anymore, because until they test, you won't know. I was exposed the first time because I nursed patients who was positive, but we were not aware. We'd finished before the result came back. So how many people are we going to be, do we think is going to come like that? And the borders are not shut. They've opened up everywhere now. Yes, it's coming. But as a black person, don't stay complicit. Don't be caught unaware. If you know you are obese and you need help in losing the weight or maintaining your weight or things like that, seriously, my support group is super duper active. I give so much in that group, in the sense that I know that this is what we need to do as a community, and I invest in that. You want some of the fruits and vegetable supplements? These are nothing but fruits and vegetables that has been encapsulated. Why? Because we know as a people we don't eat enough. Because no matter how much a juicer you are, even if you're top notch, like the best juicers in the world, there is no way you can juice or blend 30 varieties of fruit and vegetable every day. And if you're someone that works in the front line, that you know that you are always exposed, you need extra layer of protection. And they've listed the profession now. Nursing is number one. Contact. They put it there. So for all my professional colleagues, sincerely, you do not have a choice in the matter now. Especially if you're a black nurse, you don't have a choice but to take extra level of protection for yourself. Me, I'm coming online to shout all this because I do not want to hear that any black nurse lost their life anymore. It will be a personal pain for me. And the reason is that I feel we know better now. We know what we should be doing. It should not be about money this time around. Don't go booking, too many shifts that in all this deterioration in illnesses. I guess I've said enough. You know where this is going. I will continue to come online as much as I can, and as I get questioned, I'll come online to address it. There is another problem that we've seen that we're working behind the door to deal with as an organization, and I was very upset when I actually saw that the number of nurses on the NMC register that are going through disciplinary issue and all, believe it or not, too many black people. In fact, no, that's not true. We are good, but I think we have issue with how we address communication and conflict resolution. I don't think we are getting that part right. This is part of the reason why you need a formidable union to be part of. If you're a nurse and you're not in any union, with this pandemic and this is the lockdown they are easing up, you need to be a member of one. You need to constantly update yourself and probably find a plan B so that your all sorts of livelihood will not be entirely dependent on the NHS should anything were to happen. I was shocked when I was reading through that, and I said, this is not happening. It looks as if we are the only one, systemic racism. We know it's there. They've said it. So don't be caught up. First, maintain your health, maintain your professional integrity, and do whatever you can do to protect yourself as a black person in this country. I believe there's still a lot for us to achieve. We all have to be involved in governance one way or the other, whichever domain you find yourself, evolve as a leader. And I have my plan B in Mind Juice Plus franchise that I'm doing. If anyone is interested in joining that, inspiring elder living around the world as I'm doing, you do not have to come online to start talking immediately, but within your immediate community, you can make a change. We all have a duty to do that. We know our community need a lot of help when it comes to illness prevention, when it comes to type 2 diabetes prevention, when it comes to high blood pressure, hypertension prevention, and when it comes to, kidney failure that is getting higher in our community again. We have a duty. Prior to now, cancer rate was not as high in the black community. Now it's picking up. Sadly, you now hear of colon cancers within the black people. It never used to be. It means we are doing something wrong. Part of what you can do to prevent illnesses is to ensure you're loading up on massive amounts of antioxidants. which thankfully I believe in natural products, plants only, no chemicals, no germicide, nothing. Yeah, it might cost me a bit more, but I invest in my health first before I invest in anything else. When you get your health sorted, every other thing can follow. And trust me, it does. We do not have to do 40 hours a week to make even in this country. You can be in the comfort of your home and generate good income for yourself. My franchise pay me much more than my NHS salary has ever done. So for me now, it used to be NHS job plan A, but now actually nursing is a complete plan B for me. Yeah, it took me time, it took me process, it took me discipline, but I got there. And you too can. You just need to make a decision to invest in you today. Too many nurses are divorced, we know. Too many nurses are single parents, we know. Because the pattern of the work we do does not even afford us the opportunity to take care of our children. We know that. It's like they give you that money from one hand and they collect it from the other hand. And if you're an NHS nurse, how much is the salary that everyone is talking about anyway? It's not enough to sustain you unless you do bank sheets. So as a result of all those bank pay away from home, we know nurses that do 60 hours a week to get even. Is that really the way we are going to continue? No. We all should be thinking about what else can we do to improve our life, to make things better for all of us now. COVID for me has come to teach us a massive lesson. For those that are willing to key into that lesson, it could be the life-changing opportunity you've been looking for the rest of your life. It's giving us the opportunity to know that what we were doing before will not sustain us long term. May we not be used as a pawn, as a bait in this second looming that is around the corner. Hopefully, this community will now know better on things we need to do to improve ourselves. Hopefully, we will stop worshipping money and reduce, the greed, and probably, actually concentrate our efforts on having a good life where we are currently in diaspora, than worrying about all the houses, the mansions we have in Nigeria or we want to build in Nigeria that we don't even have the opportunity to live in at the moment. I pray that God Almighty protect us, spare us, keep us alive as we do the right thing and as we embrace this change. When they start to announce the increase as a result of the ease of lockdown, may we not be involved in that number. Invest in good supplement for you and your children. Juice Plus capsules are fairly safe both in children and adults. Contact me to get your supply. Yes, it will cost you some money, but you're worth that and much more. It's an opportunity for you to prevent a lot of nasty surprises. Would you ever be sick if you're on Juice Plus supplement? Yes, you could be sick, but what I can say to you is that your recovery will be way better than someone who is not doing the extra required by taking 30 varieties of fruits and veg every day. It's different, including cancers. Research has proven that. Anyway, I love you all. Let's continue to do the right thing. Stay active, stay alert, stay awake, keep your eyes on the domain. If you work in the healthcare industry, do not keep quiet. My last word is, if peradventure anyone you know, friends or family, were to be admitted, please, I beg you, do not pretend that they will get the best of care. Stay on the phone. Keep going in. Stay on the corridor. Let them know the relative is there waving. Let them know someone is asking about them. So that even if they are deteriorating, they will act quickly. There are evidences to believe that some people died of negligence. Question is that how are we going to prove it? Who is going to go to the court of law? These things happen. These things happen. So don't just stay away and say, oh, they're in the hospital, just drop food and walk away. Don't do that this time around. If anybody were to be on admission, get on the phone, be asking the question. Get on the phone, be asking the next treatment plan. Stay on the corridor. They let them know you are physically present, that you are not going to abandon your relative. And even if deterioration is happening, quick, get to the hospital. Know your rights and live within that right. We can make the best of our stay in any part of the world we are. We are good people. I strongly believe in my black brothers because we contribute heavily to any community we find ourselves. So we should not be used as a bait in those communities. And that is what my talk is all about. We all have a hand in it. You have a duty to your care. You have a duty to your health. You have a duty to spend money on your health. It is a primary duty for each and every one of us. Yes, we care for those back home, but your primary responsibilities lies with you first, not even with your children. You're only going to be useful to your children when you are alive and in good health. Until then, we won't even be useful. May God Almighty spare our lives, keep us alive, protect us from every evil of this pandemic. May God Almighty send this corona away so that we can all get on with our lives. And as they ease this lockdown, take extra care, the hand washing, masking if you're going out, that is a huge one. Don't be caught unaware. Just take your mask with you. Even if you look like a masquerade, don't worry. Protect yourself first, and then we'll take every other thing from there. And if you're a nurse, your risk assessment is so important. Go and get it done. And if they do it and they say you need to shield, or you need to be exempted, or you need to move, yes, you can move. They have no choice, because part of the clause in that risk assessment is to give extra layer of PPE for black people. It's there, it's documented, and it's from the government. They put it there, it's from the government. So can Juice Plus help with getting pregnant? Let's talk after the program. I don't answer head questions on live video, but you can contact me after this and we can have a chat. All right. I love you all. Know your rights. I'll keep saying, stay within it. We don't have to fight when trying to enforce our rights, but we can do it in a diplomatic way. Conflict resolution can be very, very diplomatic. Get it written, send an email, talk with a smile like they will talk to you in a smile. You don't have to shout, but pass your point across and ensure you're being listened to. And if your manager is, you know who they can be, go above them. Yeah? Once they know you can send email above them, they won't treat you like piece of death. All right? Thank you so much, everyone. My number remains the same, 078 77 254 559. Or you can call me, or you can contact me on www.ronke.juiceplus.com to make your order, or simply inbox me. I will be here. If there's anyone needing plan B, you want to make extra income for yourself, you're having to work like Jackie all the time, come join this franchise. My £50 investment in this Juice Plus has changed my life for real, for good. And it can do that for you, because it's ensured that I have businesses in at least 7 different countries right now. Juice Plus currently exists in 28 countries, and we are counting. I love you all. I remain your sister, Ibironke Kadeja Quadri. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and enjoy the remaining of your weekend. And we will be back by the grace of God, passing on the same message, encouraging our people. This second wave of COVID, we will fight it together. May God spare our lives. None of us will die. God will protect us. We will be here to celebrate when all this is done. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.